allowing the black male to be able to vote. The 19th Amendment, allowing the woman to be able to vote. We have to show up and vote. 88 years after the passing of the 19th Amendment, 54 years after the Supreme Court ruling of Brown versus Board of Education, integrating the school. And not only that, 44 years after the Civil Rights Act, put an end to the unfair practices of the Jim Crow law. And here we stand tonight, 12 days. 12 days before the first African American president of the United States of America. Although we see now, as you look at the news, and you look at Kentucky and West Virginia, although you see that Senator Barack Obama, the agenda, his plan, his policy, and even his running mate is better than that of John McCain. But still, after all of this, still, you have those who are afraid to vote their conscience, afraid to vote for an African American. They feel like African American cannot be a Christian. This was the beginning of slavery, you know. That's why they went over to Africa. They thought that since you were black, this was a curse from God, and there was no way you could be a Christian. And wouldn't you know, here, after 400 years of slavery and bondage, the same thing comes out. Are you ready for a change? You have those now sitting down day after day at the table of injustice, eating from the plates of inequality, drinking from cups of bitterness and swallowing racist venom. This is terrible. Allowing ignorance to find a dwelling place in their minds and having planned to vote not on the content of character, but on the color of the skin. And even worse, we have some African Americans who are unable to see past the status quo and live in the belief that there will never be an African American president. Well, I want to tell you tonight, even though these ignorant and uneducated attitudes exist, we need to remember that God is still on the throne. God is in charge. And even though these ignorant attitudes exist, we don't need to get angry. We don't need to get violent. All we need to do is show up and vote. Show up. Vote. We don't need to be sidetracked by this or distracted by the sleazy tactics and trifling habits of Sean Hannity. Fox News. Sean Hannity, Fox News. Or any other biased media outlets. Those who would rather talk about things unrelated to the pain and suffering of the middle class workers. Those who continue to talk about Senator Barack Obama's relationship with Reverend Jeremiah Wright, who served in the United States military even after being discriminated against for years. Served in the United States military after drinking from the colored on their water fountain. After sitting in the colored section of the bus. This is the most important election in the history of the United States of America. Issues that they're bringing up have nothing to do with the 760,000 jobs that have been lost in the United States of America. These issues have nothing to do with the people who walk to the gas pump and have to think before pumping. This has nothing to do with couples who have been paying for their homes for years and and now suffering foreclosure. We need to show up and vote. We need to make sure that on November 4th, Senator Barack Obama is the next president of the United States of America. And somebody, before I bring up the speaker tonight, somebody may ask, why do you want Senator Barack Obama to be president of the United States of America? No, it's not because he's black. That helps. But that's not the reason. Rather, when you find yourself in sickness and you are laying on the operating bed, the last thing you need is an attorney walking in with an incision knife or a scalpel, getting ready to perform surgery. Rather, what you need is a doctor. Somebody who knows your pain. Somebody who knows and familiar with your area of suffering. Somebody who can perform the right surgery. The United States of America here lying on the operating table, and John McCain has showed up in a hard hat, all the fatigues and boots, ready for battle. But he's simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. And this is not what we need. Even a woman, after being with her spouse, significant other, laying down in intercourse and becoming pregnant, after 9 months of craving, 9 months of contracting labor pains, she no longer needs to lay down with a man. Rather, she needs delivery after 9 months. And here we laid down with George Bush. After 8 years of pain and suffering, after 8 years of bad policy and procedure, after 8 years